So the $1.9 million American Rescue Plan was just signed into legislation, and there is a ton of relief in this package to figure out. So we're going to talk about that more today. Hi, I'm Chris Passmore, and I'm your social media CPA. So this was a significant relief package signed into law by President Biden, and there is a ton of relief going for vaccines, for schools, for airlines, and for relief to you, to the U.S. citizen, to the U.S. taxpayer. So today I'm going to talk about 5 key items that I see in this rescue plan. So it's $1.9 trillion. So what does that mean for you? So first and foremost, there is going to be a third stimulus check going out in the next few weeks. This is an additional $1,400 per individual. If a married couple, that would be $2,800. And it also includes your children and your adult dependents. Now, this is new. In the past stimulus payments, you could not claim an adult dependent, someone who may be going to college, under 24 years old, who lives with you, but now those people are included. So $1,400 per individual, including children and adult dependents. As an example, a family of 4 would receive $5,600. Those people who make more than $75,000 a year as an individual, or $150,000 per year for married filing jointly, above that amount, the payment would begin to phase out and you would get a lesser amount. The second significant item that I have in the rescue plan is the extension of the supplemental unemployment payment that people are getting right now. So this is the additional $300 that you get on a weekly basis if you're unemployed. That additional amount was scheduled to expire in March. But with the American Rescue Plan, the additional amount is now extended through September 6th of 2021. So if you are receiving that benefit now, you will continue to receive it for approximately the next 6 months. The third thing that I noticed in the rescue plan that I wanted to talk about relates to the child tax credit. So this is a tax credit designed to help low and middle income families. It's a credit per child. And currently, the amount of that tax credit is $2,000. The American Rescue Plan increases that amount to $3,000 for children aged 6 to 17 and $3,600 for children up to the age of 5. So that's almost a doubling of the amount. And one thing to note here, based on your income, you might not be eligible for the additional higher amount. The amount above $2,000, that's based on your annual income. But for low and middle income, you should see that credit amount increase. And what's really interesting about this change is that in the past, you would have to file your tax return and then you would get that credit applied to your taxes. But now it's going to be completely different, and the IRS has been directed to pay that to taxpayers on a monthly basis. So if you are eligible for a $3,000 child tax credit, the IRS would be now sending a payment to you equal to 1/12 of that amount every single month. So that's a significant new change, so you don't have to wait until April of the following year to get the benefit of that credit. The fourth thing I want to talk about today is the additional funds allocated to both the PPP and the EIDL program. The PPP is going to receive an additional $7 billion in funds to continue to support small businesses, and the EIDL program is going to reach an additional $15 billion of funding. So to recap, you can claim both of those programs. You can apply for a PPP and an EIDL, but still you might wonder what's the benefit of one over the other. And while you can take advantage of both, the PPP is the program that qualifies for forgiveness. The EIDL program is a loan, generally, that you have to repay. The PPP is heavily weighted towards payroll costs in order to qualify for forgiveness. So I've seen an example of companies who do not need extensive payroll or wages. Maybe they're more technology driven, more equipment driven. Those are the types of companies that may be in need of an EIDL loan because the amount of the loan itself is not based on a payroll amount. It's based on what your need is and the size of your company. So those types of companies who are not in heavy payroll could benefit from the EIDL program. And the last thing I want to talk to you about today is the $25 billion set aside specifically for the restaurant industry. We all know that this is an area that's been hit particularly hard in the past year. So the program sets aside $25 billion in a grant program. This is not a loan, this is a grant. And what's exciting about this, the amount of the grant is intended to supplement lost revenue from 2020 to 2019. So if you're a restaurant that has annual revenue of $2 million in 2019 and that amount reduced to $1 million in 2020, you could possibly be eligible for a $1 million grant to supplement that lost revenue. The maximum amount allowable under the restaurant portion of the American Rescue Plan is $10 million, but still that's a significant amount that restaurants could be eligible for based on a decrease in revenue from 2020 to 2019. So those are the 5 key aspects that I see in the program. Again, as I mentioned, there are several other areas. There's income for local and state governments, for airlines, for vaccines, and other important areas. But for you as a U.S. taxpayer, I think those are the ones that you will see the most benefit from. Well, if you have any questions at all regarding this program and how you could take advantage of the various funding available, please reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to talk through any of these items. Well, I hope you found that information useful and I look forward to speaking with you again.